So today, while working on my Smoot number 3, I thought, hey, I should do a video on this. I had an interesting little thing that would be lost on a lot of people, especially outside of Canada. And that's how our antique laws work up here, at least some of them. In Canada, this frame is the firearm. I don't know if that's the same in all countries, but in Canada, this piece here is the firearm. The barrel and the springs, the hammer, the cylinders, they're all just pieces. This is the firearm. And to be antique status in Canada, it has to be manufactured before 1898, which is a little different. If you're watching in the US, you guys can have stuff manufactured in 1898, but in Canada it has to be before, so 1897 and before. And it's only able to be antique status if it discharges cartridges other than, and there's a whole list. So in Canada here, it's other than 22 caliber short, 22 caliber long, or just 22 caliber. So any 22 caliber pistol, that's rimfire, will never be an antique in Canada. It will simply be a firearm. And if it's small enough, it will be a prohibited firearm. The other caveat to our antique laws is able to discharge centerfire cartridges other than handguns designed or adapted to discharge. And the list goes 32 short Colt, 32 long Colt, 32 Smith & Wesson, 32 Smith & Wesson long, 32-20 Winchester, 38 Smith & Wesson, 38 short Colt, 38 long Colt, 38-40 Winchester, 44-40 Winchester, and 45 Colt. If it's other than those and centerfire, it's good to go. So we do get to have like the 44 Russian, which is very popular up here in the antique world because you can still get ammo for it and components relatively easily. Unfortunately, there are a lot of 38 Smith & Wessons out there, for instance, and they will never be antique status. In the case of these Smoot revolvers, and this is what made me think about it, if you ever have one that you buy as a rimfire, and 38 rimfire, and then find out, oh, whoops, somebody made a mistake, it was a centerfire, it is now a prohibited firearm in Canada. And, you could face potential jail time for possessing it. And the only difference between this frame and a centerfire, I'm going to see if I can get a little closer, is the position of that hole there. So that hole right here is on the very edge for the rimfire, and basically where the tip of the screwdriver is where it would be for a centerfire. Those couple of millimeters, or what is that, like 16th of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, just that little bit is the difference between being antique status, which in Canada you don't need a license to own, you just have to be an adult, to having a prohibited firearm. And I find that rather amusing. Every other part on the pistol, except for the hammer, would be the exact same thing. The hammer would have the striking face that little bit down versus the rimfire one. But functionally, everything else is the same. It's the same barrel, same cylinder, same indexing parts, triggers the same. But that makes all the difference in the world. Just simply, whether or not that hole is up or a few millimeters down. And welcome to Canada's funny laws. I wish we had laws more similar to the US in this regard, where it's just pretty much a simple, prior to a certain date and we're good to go. But unfortunately, we have all these caliber restrictions. Another one you'll see up here a lot is the Thunder. In Canada, the Thunder is very popular, but can't have the Lightning because the Lightning is a restricted firearm up here, which under the current government has now basically become prohib. Hopefully that changes down the road, but as of now, that's how all this works, and I don't see antique stuff changing, honestly, so we're going to be living with these restrictions for ever, I'm sure. And it's a shame because like the Thunder and the Lightning are essentially the same pistol, just different size holes. And one's okay and one's not. Kind of like the Smoot here. Anyway, just had this on my mind while I was working on it and thought I might share it with you guys because it's kind of an interesting little tidbit of Canadiana. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll keep bringing you more stuff. Have a good one.